Hi, I'm Aneri from Klimatic Group, and I'm here with
Peter Hawranke
from Sicher and Sicher Group.
Sicher Group.
Okay, my American accent doesn't work so well with some of these
I didn't notice.
pronunciations. So that was a really interesting presentation about risk, and there's a lot of Chinese companies, as you can see from Intersolar. So for Asian companies like Tecloman that are working in more risk-averse environments like in Europe, how should they prepare?
I mean, it's starting with a proper setting up of incorporation, the right compliance system. That's also part of a risk management. And that is, you should not see it as a bureaucratic kind of thing you have to do. It's like no one really likes to do it. Of course, I understand that it's like a headache. How we do that, how we have to set it up. But actually, it's your lifeline. So if something goes sideways, it starts with a reputational thing on social media, right? Where you need to have things in place, how you react. And by the way, this is also covered through the corporate liability insurance with like the financial loss coverage. So if someone is saying, hey, you Chinese companies, I'm using these pictures on my website, on my blog, and someone say, hey, I have the rights to it. So it's also like a passive, actually, panel expensive insurance who's also fighting against wrong claims or even paying them. So there's a lot what we can do. And I think in the start, how I mentioned before, is really important that you're setting it really properly. And if we have a chance to do it blank, we can advise them, giving them really individually for them what they need for the compliance issue, our legals, our insurance, risk management, all in one go. So it's all aligned so that if something happens, we cannot do anything against it. But at least they will feel, okay, yeah, it was really trouble, but we came away there with it. We didn't have any loss. And now we're standing better and everything worked. And that's what it's about risk management compliance.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And for manufacturers in particular, how should they think differently about risk management in markets like this?
Now, the point is, like, if you're coming from China, as you said, so you have like these aunties and uncles who are selling insurances. So that is like this simple private to private. They do a bit company. We know each other. So you have to look more deeper in here, and especially you have to see clients will request particular coverage if you supply them with your products. So they say, do you have that in place? Do you have a recall plan? So many companies don't have it, and I understand. First is we setting up, we have to get the products where we have to find clients. They want to make money. So, but then later, now all of a sudden we still need. And if you have then, like in China, you just go who you know. But for these really high risk parts, you need a professional who can handle them. And of course, ideally go along with you and is on your side, like a lawyer, like a trustee on your side. And you outsource it, and you don't pay more than anywhere else. So I think this is a big difference, a culture difference, and the Europeans like insurance, especially the Germans.
Yes, that's true. And I mean, there's a lot of potential worst-case scenarios that can happen in this industry. Which is one that you think that industry leaders maybe don't think enough about, but you see more often?
It's like being sued, right? We are any stakeholder in the market. What could be by regulations anyone? Think about environment politics, right? That is something what can all out of the blue is in your post box, and you have to then do something. So therefore, this is one part. And also another big part is like talked a lot about fire, right? It's still next to water, one of the biggest like risk for property, right? Therefore, it should not be like looked over. But the financial losses, and of course with AI technology, with hackers who creating AI worms who actually can always trying to get the way in there, especially the energy section, is that's one of the basic infrastructures what we're talking about. I can remember over 10 years ago when I was in Hong Kong, right? There was still how we can store the energy. Now we are sitting here at a booth from a company who's selling exactly this kind of solution. So this is something where maybe hackers have interest in.
Yeah.
And it's also like a war scenario, how we protect that. And
Right.
that have to be set up properly. You have to be protected. Not just like in documents and in financial losses, also in procedures, in security and safety.
Right. Yeah, that's a really good point. And the hackers probably are not maybe something storage companies are thinking about often,
Yeah.
but it's very much in the mind of the clients, the grids that are giving permissions to the battery companies. So that's a great point. Well, thank you so much, Peter. I
You're
hope you have a wonderful time at Intersolar.
Yeah, I hope so too. You guys too, right?